We start tonight in Sequoia County. Family and friends are mourning the loss of an Oklahoma man who died from critical injuries suffered in a firework explosion earlier this month. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach attended his service today and shares more about the impact Ely Smith had on so many.
Born in Poto and raised in Vian, Ely Smith passed away on July 8th in Tulsa. Loved ones filled Blackham Harvest Time Church in Vian and paid tribute to Ely through special videos, songs, and prayer. Through tears and laughter, they shared stories of his bear hugs, his sense of humor, and the radiant smile he always wore. Those who knew Ely say he lived life with an open heart and that his infectious spirit will live on in everyone he touched. Ely was one of 5 total victims hurt in a fireworks explosion in Tuskahoma. Covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
2 other victims, Brad Llewellyn and Cash Collins, are still in the hospital at this time. A benefit will be held on July 26 to support Ely, Brad, and Cash, including food and drink costing $12 with a bake sale and a silent auction. Well, turning now to the forecast, 5 News meteorologist Stephen Elmore is in the 5 News Weather Center, and we've had some off and on again rain in the area all day, making for somewhat of a gloomy Saturday. Are things looking up for tomorrow, Stephen?
Yeah, those rain chances going to continue for our Sunday, but I tell you what, it's going to be a little bit more isolated in nature, and I think most of the activity is going to be focused on tomorrow morning. Here's a current look at things, though. Really, throughout this evening, we've had some very strong thunderstorms, some very scary looking clouds as well at some times, and some strong winds associated with those thunderstorms. But we stayed below the severe limits all evening long, just seeing those special weather statements saying that there's about 40, maybe 50 mile an hour winds, and we're still seeing some of those strong storms out there this evening. 2 areas to focus on. We've got this cell that's just in Benton County and Delaware County as well, along that leading edge, moving up towards the north. That's where you can find some stronger winds out there this evening. Not severe, but let's say about 30, maybe even up to 40 mile per hour winds moving just north of Siloam Springs. You got that heavy rainfall elsewhere across Benton and Washington County. Just some moderate rainfall out there this evening. Across the River Valley, we've got some stronger winds moving into LaFleur County, southern Sebastian County as well. But again, not severe winds as of right now, just some very heavy rainfall throughout the rest of this evening. Expecting to see some very heavy rainfall that could lead to some isolated flooding. We'll talk about Sunday's rain chances coming up.
All right, thanks, Stephen. We're learning more about the victim who was shot yesterday in East Rogers and later died in a hospital. 41-year-old Kevin Nichol was found shot in the abdomen near the area of East Highway 12 just after midnight. We're learning that he was affiliated with Ozark Mountain Wrestling, a wrestling group in Northwest Arkansas. People knew him as wrestling names Ivan Warsaw, Knuckles Madsen, or Killer Nichols. The Benton County Sheriff's Office says it's still an ongoing investigation and no further details have been released. A GoFundMe for him has been set up for the funeral and memorial costs. In Texas, the search for those who remain missing in the wake of last weekend's devastating floods continues, and so does the mourning as Hill Country residents gather to pay tribute to the lives lost. CBS News' Karen Waugh has more.
In Kerr County, Texas, it's been 9 days since deadly flash floods hit the region. It's been a week since rescuers found the last survivor. Coast Guard pilot Ian Hopper saved 165 people on day 1 with a team airlifting campers out of Camp Mystic. He remembers one girl in particular.
She's got tears running down her face, and she's scared. Clearly, she may have just lost her sisters. She may have just lost her friends. And I turn around and I give her a thumbs up. And at that moment, I knew that I wasn't just moving people from one place to another, but I felt like a dad that was rescuing my daughters.
Across the state, more than 120 people are dead and more than 170 missing. Don White and his dog Socks have helped find several bodies.
There's really no place to walk on the riverbanks, so you're sliding up and down, you're holding branches to keep out of the water.
In Kerrville, community members gather at this memorial to mourn and honor the victims.
You weep about the kids and just like the parents and what they are going through.
During his visit to the region, President Trump was asked if emergency alerts could have been improved.
Only a very evil person would ask a question like that.
While some residents demand accountability, this community has come together, stronger despite this tragedy. The whole country standing behind the message of Hill Country Strong. Karen Hua, CBS News, Kerrville, Texas.
President Trump told reporters Friday he has never seen anything like the devastation he witnessed in Kerr County, Texas. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is calling for the Texas state legislature to explore new early warning systems for the area at its upcoming special session. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders approved an extension on the Arkansas's National Guard's assistance mission in Central Texas. The Guard will continue supporting the rescue efforts until next Sunday. 22 soldiers and 4 Black Hawk helicopters have been helping transport search and rescue teams since July 8th. One volunteer distributing food and water to first responders described the emotional scenes she's seen in the last week. She said she found a flower necklace wrapped up in a tree and said it was hard to keep her emotions.
That's probably what affected me the most, because as a mother who's lost a child, I know the nightmare that these people are living, that these parents are going through. I wouldn't wish that on the devil himself. That is the most unfair thing a parent will ever go through in their life.
Well, back here at home, drag racing is usually car versus car, but today at the Springdale Airport, something bigger went head-to-head with fast cars. 5 News photojournalist Luke Patrick was at the event and shows us what the fun was all about.
So this is our first ever car show. We got a lot of ramp space, so we thought we'd see if we can get a few cars out here. We started talking a little bit more. Hey, what if we send some cars down the runway and they could race an airplane?
Have you ever raced a supercar before in a plane?
This was first time, day one. Again, to see a high performance aerobatic airplane and against a high performance car and truly get an idea that, hey, they're both about the same, both of them pretty quick.
We got invited to race an airplane, which is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The pilot was super cool, and basically we just went as fast as we could down the runway, and hopefully we put on a good show.
I mean, you've got people who love fast cars, loud cars. Well, we got another group of people that love fast planes, loud planes. And so we figured we'd probably do pretty well together, and sure enough, we do.
Summer means more time outside and more exposure to the sun's harmful rays. It also means a bigger need to protect your skin from skin cancer. Karen Fuller sat down with UAMS Dr. Sarah Shalin to get insight into the best prevention tactics so you and your family can stay safe while enjoying the summer sun.
Summer in Arkansas. Pools are packed, lakes are cool and refreshing, and many families take time to get in one last vacation before the school year. But getting some rays comes with some responsibility. Dr. Sarah Shalin is the chairman of the Department of Dermatology at the UAMS Winthrop P. Rockefeller Cancer Institute. We recently asked Dr. Shalin to answer some of the most important questions on sun safety in Arkansas.
Well, sun protection is really critical because it's one of the factors that we can control in terms of our risk for developing skin cancer. We know that the sun contributes to development of different kinds of skin cancers, the most common types being something called squamous cell carcinoma and basal cell carcinoma, but it also plays a role in development of a really significant skin cancer that you may have heard of called melanoma. And so because we can control our exposure to the sun, it's one of those risk factors that we can adjust.
The first, why is sun protection so important during the summer?
Avoid being out in the sun, in the direct sun, especially in the hottest hours of the day. Usually that's between 10 a.m. and about 2 or 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And remember that even when you are outside during those hours, trying to stay under a shaded environment as much as you can.
Who is most at risk for skin cancer?
People that have fairer skin are going to be more susceptible to those dangerous sun rays, and they are going to have a higher risk of developing skin cancer. Also, tanning bed use is a real no-no. That's acquiring a tan, but just the same way that the sun gives us a tan. And when you have a tan, it means that your skin's been damaged.
What are the best ways to protect your skin?
Trying to stay under a shaded environment as much as you can. Also encourage you to wear sun protective clothing. So they're, long sleeves, hat, sunglasses. Using a sunscreen of at least SPF 30 or higher is really, really critical to preventing sunburns.
What's the difference between mineral and chemical sunscreens?
In terms of specific ingredients, you can recognize the physical or mineral sunscreens because usually their main ingredient is going to be either zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. Those are the primary ingredients for that type of sunscreen. And then the ingredients in the chemical sunscreens, there's a broader variety, but often something called avobenzone.
What are the warning signs of melanoma?
If you're looking at your skin and you notice something that's new or changing, something that doesn't go away after a couple of weeks, something specifically that has a darker pigmentation compared to the surrounding skin, it may be worth getting that checked out by a board-certified dermatologist.
And now you're armed and ready to take on a sunny day.